Okay, so let's do a quick snapshot of where we are. So foundation holes are all dug inside and outside the porch. I'm trying to get a hold of the building inspector so they can come check the depth and I can get the concrete poured. Hopefully that's sooner than later because I've only got the mixer for another 4 or 5 days. I'm trying to line up concrete block on the edge. So tomorrow my plan is to mix up a bunch of mortar, get all these blocks kind of cleaned up, get the area all cleaned up with dirt, and get these mortared in place underneath of here. So I'm trying to just make sure I have enough and kind of get them all lined up. So I'm going to have to cut a small piece there. There's an opening going here for a drain. I'm going to cut a piece there. There's another vent. This I'm just going to leave open for the moment. This is where the door into the crawl space is going. It's probably going to need a lot more work just to clean it up, make it less jagged and sharp. And the door's not coming in for another several days. So I'm going to leave that open for the moment. I'll probably have to redo these two. So some of these blocks were put in by the concrete company I'd hired, and when they put them in, there was a larger size beam going across there, or at least what remained of one, so they're kind of low. So I want to rework them to where they match a little better. So here, and same over here. Right here, these guys are pretty low under that beam. So I might end up knocking these guys out and cleaning them up and redoing that just to make sure it lines up better. And then here, the concrete itself is just a little bit too high on this side. What's really bright, you can't see. So it's good over here. It kind of tilts up a little bit, the angle. And once it gets in here, it's just a little bit too high, and the concrete blocks get jammed right there. So I'm either going to have to kind of shave that down, which that sounds really hard, or I'm thinking instead maybe I can just knock a small sliver, just cut a small sliver off the bottom of the two blocks right there, and then set them on the mortar and get them to line up, and that should be fine. So I think that's going to be the easier thing. So that becomes a solid hole. I got a vent hole here, so redo this one. Worry about that later and get that one, and that one done tomorrow. So I'm going to do a little more prep work today, just kind of get it all set to where I can get that knocked out tomorrow, and then I'm going to take some count on what I have mortar wise, and then if I don't have enough, I need to run to the store to get some, so I'm good to go for tomorrow. So like I said, goal one tomorrow is get all of that stuff mortared in place and drying. And then after that's done, hopefully I'll be able to start getting the concrete poured in these foundation places if I hear back from the building inspector. But at least the ones out by the porch. So, oh man, I'll be glad when this is over. Masonry is not my favorite. Definitely not. So. Okay, so I forgot my camera yesterday, so y'all missed out, but just an update. I started working on mortaring in block. So back here in the kitchen, I got that block in place. I had to build up a huge amount of mortar on the bottom to make it get up to the right level, just because when they poured the concrete, they didn't have the right measurements. Same thing over here. Left this opening for a vent. I worked that out yesterday to make sure that works. And over here I've got the same issue. I've got to build the concrete up, but it was a lot thicker than even over here. So I'm using concrete instead of mortar to create a strip. So I ran out of time yesterday, or I would have poured it all the way across. I had to go get the boys from daycare, so that sucks. But get that done first thing. Get that in place. I got the mortaring done over here. This guy. And I've mortared the inside over here where it wasn't before. So yeah, and I need to get this clean. I've cleared this guy all out. So yeah, so today I'm going to get that concrete over there put in place. I'm going to clean this guy out. I'm going to see about mortaring in the block here, and then once that concrete's had just a little bit of time to set over there. Both of these places have vents going in them, so I'll have to do a little bit of work there to make sure the vent fits. And then over here we will see the hatch, I'm going to call it, that's arriving. That should be for the entrance into the crawl space. It should be here today, but I'm going to wait until that gets here before I start mortaring in block and figuring out how all of that works, because I want to make sure I get all that right and whatever. So I'll probably have to do some chiseling and some chipping and blah 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 just to clean it out, because they poured here when I didn't really want them to. So this section is a TBD. Wow. Otherwise, we get the block mortared in, and then I'm going to start mixing the concrete and getting the footers poured. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to have to go get more concrete from Lowe's probably sooner than later. We will see. My truck decided to just die when I was taking a turn on the way over here, but I pulled off on the side of the road and it fired right back up and finished the drive, so I don't know what's going on there. I'm kind of worried about getting all that concrete on the trailer and bringing it over here now, but we'll see. I'll just use what I have for the moment. So, all right, let's get to it. Alright, so quick update. I have caught a little bit of break in the weather here. It's pretty warm, though it is December. And I've been able to paint the concrete on the outside here. 2 coats of a concrete sealant, white, obviously. So it's good to get that done. So once that has time to cure, dry fully, I'll come back and mount the vents and the hatch, and that will hopefully keep the cats out, I hope. All the way around. On the inside, I use some spray foam to seal beneath the beam and the concrete. Just another barrier. And I put together these center beams. So this is treated 2x8s that were still good. They were actually part of the floor that I took up over there in the living room. So that's nice. I didn't have to go buy more wood. And so I've got those put together. So I'm going to stick those in place. I'm waiting on Orkin to come in and treat this crawl space so that I can get some plastic put down and start getting the floor joists put in. And I also need to do some work with the plumbing. I need to kind of rework where the drain goes out, because currently it's over there and it's above ground. I'm sure I've showed you that before. It's not good. And the incoming plumbing right here kind of goes through the concrete. Like, it works, but I don't really like it. I'd like it to like come in a little bit more and be a little deeper outside. So I'll probably kind of dig that out and see if I can rework how the plumbing comes in, and then see about reworking the drain line going out. And then I'll probably get a plumbing crew to come in and do some work. I really don't like plumbing, so I'd rather not mess with it myself. So yeah, get the plumbing crew to come in and run the lines throughout the crawl space here to where they all come up. So for that, I kind of need to finalize my interior plans for the house. So I've got some plans. I've worked through about 2 iterations, 2 or 3 iterations of what the final layout will be, and I need to do a little bit of more tweaking on this last group, and then I'll be able to say, yeah, for sure. And then I'll be able to kind of chalk out some of the rooms in here, and we can figure out where the plumbing lines have to come up. Because I would want to give the plumbers the opportunity to do that while the crawl space is open and available over here, and make it a lot easier on them. Yeah, so I guess that's the plan so far. Once that's done, I'll be able to finish dropping down the insulation in the floor, putting in the floor, and then calling it good from ground to floor. That in itself will be nice, and then I'll actually be able to start thinking about the walls. So, yep, but I think I'm going to call it a day. Pretty good progress, so baby steps. Baby steps.